So, welcome back. Currently 2-1 with green-black rock. Turn 1 Inquisition. Turn 3 Liliana. I think this hand might be fine. I would keep this 6 here without this Blooming Marsh, so if I mulligan to this without the Blooming Marsh, I would keep that as well. So this hand's a little weak against Blood Moon, but I haven't seen too much main board Blood Moon. I've seen a lot of sideboard, but not much main board recently. And there are a lot of, yeah, Sebastian, there are a lot of board game teachers on YouTube and such. Okay, we're up against Tron. Take the stirrings. However, I got very frustrated when I was trying to learn Scythe, and I played it. I watched this like 45-minute long video, and at the end of it, it said, "And you'll learn the rest as you go." And I was like, "No, you should be able to teach me this game within half an hour, and that should be that. Like that's how the game should progress." But it was not. So I spent 45 minutes watching a YouTube video to learn how to play a game, and I didn't even learn how to play at the end. So the real question here is, what is my next turn? My next turn is Liliana the Veil, no matter what. And the turn after that, I want to play Tracker Clue. So I'm going to play... Actually, let me pause for a second. If I go Liliana of the Veil, like Blooming Marsh Liliana, I'm going to uptick, which means I'm probably discarding the Swamp. And then hopefully draw a land for the Tracker. I don't need to get a Clue off the Tracker. I could play him as a 3-drop to try to race my opponent here, although I do feel like a Liliana Ultimate is the best way to beat them in the situation here. So the real question I have here, while I'm pausing, is do I, on my opponent's end step, blow up the tower? I think I did. Because I'm not going to, my game plan is to not do that over the next few turns. This way they can't drop a Worm Coil on me. Very hard to get a crowd to play them more than once. I agree. And if you're only going to play them once, it's like, why even play it at all? Well, I lucked out and I drew into something I want to discard more than my land. Oh, they still have a forest in hand. Walking Ballista. Okay. Ballista slows down my Liliana Veil game plan. So my lines are I play Tracker, play Field. Tracker will die next turn to a Ballista, but that will protect my Liliana. And then I can just ride the Liliana ult, but if my opponent exactly top decks another Tron piece, they can blow me out of the game. I think I want to just play this safe. Field of Ruin. The tower. Again, I've already targeted tower once. If I can knock them out of towers, I can be in pretty good shape. And now I'm going to Edict their Ballista to prevent them from getting the Ballista in a way that can kill Liliana. This also lets me save my game plan next turn, and I'm safe. I can definitely Tracker, drop a Swamp, crack a Clue, and progress my game plan from that point forward. Okay, we have a plan. Opponent had the power plant, so it's a good thing I blew up the mine. And they have an O-Stone with basically enough mana to crack it here. So if my opponent top decks a land, which they probably will, they get to blow up the O-Stone. I really don't want to plus and discard a Tarmogoyf in this situation here. Although I do want to force them here. We're gonna crack the Clue. See what I draw. Okay. Much better. So they discarded a land, which tells me that they definitely have at least one more land to blow up the O-Stone. Yep. Sure. I get to refuel with a Tarmogoyf. And a Field of Ruin can blow up a... I don't have a tower. Let's blow up the mine. Really doesn't matter here. But really I have no information to make an educated choice here. They have a land in hand, they can drop a Worm Coil. I really just need to keep them off one land as long as I can. Post-board, we'll get access to things like Fulminator Mage, which will definitely make this matchup better. Okay, we have another O-Stone in play. Thoughtseize is really good here. Thoughtseize lets us take the Worm Coil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to blow up the O-Stone, untap with 6 mana. If they draw another land, they can cast World Breaker, which I don't think I can beat, but I can stop them from casting the Worm Coil by taking it right now. Tron only runs like 19 lands, so they have a lot of cantrips, but the odds of them top decking a land right now is a little bit slim. If they top deck exactly a land, I'm in a little bit of trouble because I can't beat World Breaker, but they do not. Steal game 1 against Tron. Let's cut these Kalitas, let's cut these Fatal Push, let's cut this Spell Bomb, let's bring in Fulminator Mages, the extra Thoughtseize, maybe Liliana the Last Hope to rebuy Fulminator Mages. I kind of like Surgicals to cheese out some time, not necessarily a win, but some time. Trophies are great, Goyfs are great, Pulse is great, this is all great. Scoos is not as good. I think I'll run this here. If I didn't have exactly 4 Fulminators, I'd probably bring in the second Last Hope to keep rebuying them, but having 4, I kind of like Last Hope as being my 5th. Yeah, this hand is terrible. This hand is also terrible. I'm going to be going to 5 here, which is not what I want to see. Bottom that. Okay. So turn 1 Thoughtseize. If I draw into a Dark Confidant, I'll be pretty well off here. Okay. So opponent mulled to 6. We mulled to 5. Crucible of Worlds is pretty good against us. O-Stone's pretty good against us. But I'm just going to take the Ancient Stirrings, which should buy me a little bit of time here. Because they have to top deck a land now before they can do anything. Okay. So opponent's got Tron online. Yeah, I think I'm just over here. Yeah, I think this is just done. And a minus, try to hit a Fulminator, hit a Tracker. I mean, they could whiff on threats for a little while. Oblivion Stone doesn't do much right now against me. Yeah. Okay. Supposed to lose that one anyway. Mold to 5 on the draw. Maybe I should have taken the Sylvan. I think maybe I should have taken the Sylvan's Crying there instead of the Stirrings. Oh, man. This hand is so close. It just needs a Blooming Marsh or a Swamp. I think I have to keep this. It's got a turn 3 Fulminator. And I'll bottom the Brutality, I guess. I don't love this hand. It certainly slows them down, but it doesn't do anything for me. I don't have a win condition yet. I just have a way to slow my opponent down. Like a Dark Confidant would be perfect here. Honestly, Surgical Extraction would be a pretty nice draw. I got 2 of those. I have 53 cards left in my deck. Thoughtseize would be a decent draw. Then I can Field of Ruin Thoughtseize. Trophy. Yeah, I'm green-black Ponza right now, Honest Thief. Maybe I can draw a Tireless Tracker next turn, and I can go Tireless Tracker, Field of Ruin, and then the following turn go either Devil Trophy or Fulminator. Good morning. Okay, so just another Fulminator Mage then. The good news is, actually, I think I just blow it up right now. Because I don't want to let them untap with Expedition Map mana. This way they have to have another land or else they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. I don't know why they didn't float a mana, blow up Relic there. So Relic of Progenitus is probably one of the best cards they can have in this situation because Relic shrinks my Tarmogoyfs and stops my Fulminator's mages from being rebought, but it also stops Surgical Extraction. Okay, I have mine. Tracker be a great draw here. Okay. So I have 3 towers down right now. If they drop another tower, I can Assassin's Trophy it, and they don't have Tron for the rest of the game. They'll still just naturally hit land drops, but only like 15 lands left for the rest of the game. I think I can manage that. Do they have the 4th tower? I don't think they do. I think we're just going to attack here. Yep. Okay, so they're still drawing lands. It's a little troublesome for me. Probably should attack with Treetop here. I was just thinking holding up double trophy was fine. I want them to tap this other relic, and then I will Surgical in response. Or if they tap all their mana, I can do that then too. And I will get rid of all the mines from their deck. Their hand is All is Dust, Forest, Forest, Karn. Yeah, I have no clock right now, so let's get rid of the mine. That one too. Mine. Mine. So they have All is Dust, Forest, Forest, Karn. Four Worm Coils can still, and 2 Thrag Tusks. Alright. Yeah, they could have relic targeted themselves, but they didn't. So there's really no opportunity for them to do anything there once they clicked past it. They absolutely made a mistake there. You kind of gotta, when you're in a bad spot like this, when you just have a 1-2 on the board, you kind of have to hope your opponent makes a mistake. So how many basic forests does Tron run? They have one more in their hand. Yeah, I was trying to think, like, Field of Ruin stops, but they can do that in response. They're out of forest because they have another one. They have 2 in their hand. There's 1. And they should pop one of these relics now. Honestly, what they should do is Field of Ruin my treetop and then Relic, blow everything up. Okay, they lost a forest. They still have All Is Dust. Okay. So they played Forest Wormcoil, so they still have 2 cards in their hand is All Is Dust and Karn. I should play Scoos because either way I'm plussing here. So I'll get rid of Karn, keep All Is Dust. Yep. And I'll pass. I'm not in a good spot here. Double Relic of Progenitors has stopped me from having a chance to really put aggro on them. They should be at 11. I should have attacked once with the Treetop Village. But beyond that, there's not much I can do here. If they top deck a land with All Is Dust, the game is over. I'm going to eat their lands here because they do have Crucible of Worlds. Thoughtseize would be a good draw. Okay. So they still have All Is Dust in their hand, but it doesn't matter as much because of that O-Stone, which I can't actually do anything about. I don't think I can attack here. If I attack, they can Field of Ruin my Treetop if I try to leave Treetop as a blocker, and I want to force them to O-Stone. Otherwise, Liliana Edict can beat them. Yep. Yep, they gain 6 life. And they O-Stone, blow up my Liliana. Okay. Yeah, I think this game is pretty well over at this point. As an example of when if you have Disruption doesn't beat Tron, Disruption plus a clock beats Tron, and I never really drew a clock. And now they can't get Tron lands, but they have plenty of mana for Thragtusks and things like that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. 1 more mana and they get Ugin. I mean, I won game 1, so I'm happy with that. Kind of stole it there. Yep, this is over.